Okay, I want to speak about the cornet or the cornet as they say in the United States. There are basically two kinds of B-flat cornets. The shepherd crook and the American style, which is a little bit longer. This is a shepherd crook, but not so crooked, so it's a little bit longer. So I I got my first brass was somebody left at home a trumpet, and then I got a cornet. What do I like about the cornet? At first I didn't know, I just liked the idea of a cornet. It sounds more Dixieland, some are old-fashioned, but I didn't really understand the difference till I got to play. Cornets have a kind of intermediate sound. It's not too bright, it's not too soft, it's not as bright as a trumpet, it's not as soft and mellow like a flugelhorn. This kind of cornet have a barycenter towards the player, so it's kind of easier to handle, to hold, and even to use your plunger mute. A cornet, as a rule, has a V-shape mouthpiece. It means the interior, the cup inside, is as a shape like this. Trumpet more a shape like this. But you can get easily a mouthpiece that has a C shape that gives more brightness. You can usually don't find for trumpets, so you should buy to have a V shape for a trumpet. You should buy a cornet mouthpiece and use an adapter, which I will do. I mean, I will buy an adapter because I have many cornet, not so many, I think 8 or 9 cornet mouthpieces. Cornets fell out common usage, I think, towards the end of the 20s, more or less, because of Louis Armstrong that switched from the cornet to the trumpet, and because of the kind of music was played, changed regarding jazz, and it became swing. It was used a lot in big bands, and the brighter sound of the trumpet was more suitable for that kind of music. Also because I think the trumpet sound is, I don't know how to put it, it's more in your face, and jazz became more a soloist kind of music, and the instrument didn't have to blend so much with the trombone and the clarinet, and the music was different, and trumpets accommodated that kind of music. Many times you have a different music and you change the instrument. That happened a lot, from the recorder to the traversiere, the Baroque transverse flute, from the Renaissance, from the Baroque trombone, which has small bore, small bell, and two bigger instruments. And that also because it was a fashion. It was fashionable to play the trumpet. The trumpet before was For the most part, an instrument that rich white people used to play in classical music in orchestras. In New Orleans, common people played the cornet. Even in Italy, till the 50s, people used to play the cornet. And when everybody plays a trumpet, it's difficult to play the cornet. You play what people around you play. You couldn't play in a big band, or you could have a cornet and a trumpet. Many times people didn't have money to have both instruments, professional instruments. And it was in time, I think, people associated, matched cornet with old style. It's like from classical, from acoustic guitar to electric guitar. Then what happened? In modern jazz, Ted Jones used to play the cornet as well, and Nat Adderley was mostly a cornet player. A cornet, basically you can play whatever you want with a cornet. There are a few styles where it doesn't fit at all. One is, I think, styles where you need brightness. I need to sneeze as well. That means salsa, big bands. But if you want a sound that blends with other instruments better, cornets blends better with other brass instruments. In a British marching band, they use just the cornet. Cornet was still used in Dixieland. In Dixieland, I wouldn't say that trumpets, I think cornets are 50-50. There is also the image. I'd say the common layman cannot distinguish it just from the sound, a cornet from a trumpet. We have to say that playing a cornet with a C-shaped mouthpiece, and some cornets in their construction are more trumpety, so to speak. I mean, they have a conical thing that is not as conical as in other cornets. In this instrument you can have all the spectrum from cornet to the trumpet. It's not something, there's no clear-cut differences. Cornets, here the bore here is narrower in a cornet, so the shank is narrower. This part is the same, just on cornet usually the shape inside is C, not C, is like a V, not a C. That gives more of, the word cornet comes from corno, which means horn, the French horn. The sound is kind of a little bit less in your face, bright or harsh than a trumpet. And I found this sound to accommodate many styles of music, being intermediate between a flugelhorn, that's a flugelhorn, and a trumpet. To tell you the truth, the only trumpet I really like is my inexpensive Thomann C trumpet. Has a specific sound. I will upload another video about the C trumpet. There is a fly. I cannot, it's giving me hell. kill him. So this is a Thomann cornet. It's around 500 euros. For the price, it sounds like an instrument that would cost double as much from another brand. It's really, the only problem is this doesn't. But I use this. What to say about the cornet? Basically, if you can't play a cornet, you can play the trumpet, more or less. There are some differences. I find the trumpet the most difficult instrument among brass, high brass. Even the flugelhorn has some difficulty. I mean, high notes on a flugelhorn are quite difficult. Low notes are better on a flugelhorn. All in all, this instrument being somewhere in the middle, I'd say that is closer to a trumpet than a flugelhorn. I mean, you can basically play the trumpet part in a band with a cornet and not with a flugelhorn. I seem to be more, for me, cornets are easier to play. Okay, I like the aesthetics, I like the sound, I like they are comfortable, and I like the music that usually people play on the cornet. Cornet, you can play modern jazz, you can play old jazz. You can say same thing with the trumpet. You can say of the trumpet, more that people think. I mean, modern jazz people associate trumpet with every kind of jazz, but cornets are, people think you can only play Dixieland or old jazz. I play whatever comes to my mind, and it's just beautiful. The sound of cornets, if you want to hear a very beautiful and very cornet-like sound playing on a cornet, is by Bix Beiderbecke. I wouldn't possibly imagine Bix Beiderbecke playing on a trumpet. Just I can't. I really like that kind of sound. That's why I fell in love with the cornet. As like a bell. It is. We say risposta. How to put it? The feedback you get from a trumpet, from a cornet, is different. Oh, god damn it. I should and I could. Goodbye.